This is the safest and the fastest way to get rich in 2026. In this video, I will explain to you in detail how you can actually make a lot of money. This is literally an opportunity that most people are going to miss. And then people are going to look back and say that, why nobody told me that I could have made so much money? So here in this video, I will tell you exactly. So if you are going to miss this opportunity, it is going to be entirely your fault. So watch this video very, very carefully. The largest place where most wealth changes hands is the stock market. It is valued at trillions of dollars and it usually works in cycles. So trillions of dollars move every few years from one group of people into another because most people don't understand how the market works. When the market is growing really fast, that's when a lot of people get really excited and they want to start investing because they're looking at the market and it's growing. Then the next moment, the market is crashing and everybody is afraid and they will start selling their stocks. But the people who understand the market, they know how to look at the big picture and they know when to buy the stocks and when to sell the stocks. So we end up in a situation where trillions of dollars often change hands from people who don't understand how the market works to people who really understand how the market works. Every single time when you see that the market is growing or the market is falling down, there is always a reason behind that. The market doesn't just randomly moves up and down. For people who don't understand how the market works, for them, it doesn't actually make sense. They think that all of this happened out of nothing. They think that the market crashed out of nowhere. They think that the market is growing out of nowhere. But every single time there is a reason. So let's look at the S&P 500. Over the last 5 years, back in 2021, the market was growing. It was very bullish. And a lot of people made a lot of money. Then the market has crashed after that. And a lot of people lost a lot of money. Then the market started growing again. So let's look at the reasons behind that. So in 2020 and 2021, there was a lot of cheap money. So if you suddenly just take money and you throw it into the economy, the market is going to grow because you simply increased massively the supply of money. Imagine if there is somebody that is literally giving everybody free money. That's exactly what happened. So any company in 2021 or in 2020 could literally just borrow money at 0% interest rate. That means that the market is going to grow. Why? Because the markets are priced based on how much money these companies are going to make and are making regardless of how this money is made. Some companies make it by actually selling real products. But in 2020 and 2021, you did not have to sell anything. You simply could have borrowed this money. There is no cost at this money. Then in 2022, the Federal Reserve raises interest rates from 0% to literally 5.5%. So all these companies that literally improve their balance sheet by borrowing this free money, what do you think has happened? Of course, now they no longer could rely on that cheap money when you see the market is crushing them. So that crash was not for no reason. There was a very good reason. So if you understood these basic things, you would know when to sell and when to buy. But look at this. In 2023, the market starts growing again. What happened? And that was the AI boom. Now we have a completely new technology that everybody believes is going to transform the rest of the world. On the other side, you have so much investors that made so much money in 2020 and 2021. They have to invest that money. So they started throwing that money into AI. So you see that the market is growing tremendously. There is a very good reason. Now in 2025, you see that the market has crashed. Why? Donald Trump becomes the president and he instantly introduces the largest tariffs in the history of the United States since the Great Depression. Everybody thought that this is the end of the globalization, but that was a one-time shock. Everybody sold their stocks and then they realized that these tariffs actually have a lot of exemptions. And then the AI boom continued, so there was a crash, but then the market instantly recovered. So we are seeing another crash right now in 2026. The market is down by about 15 to 20%. Why is that happening? There is first of all an oil shock. Oil prices have more than doubled and there is a lot of uncertainty in the market. So we don't know how high these oil prices are going to continue. Since everybody is massively investing in AI and AI needs so much energy, here's the question. Maybe we're going to overpay so much for this AI that the high cost of energy is going to make it unprofitable. The second problem is that there is an AI collapse. Just recently, OpenAI has closed down Sora, their image generating company or a platform. Why? Because it is not making as much money as people thought. So there was a lot of investments into AI. Investors have overpaid for these investments. Early investors are selling off their investments, or new investors are not willing to invest more because they don't see a path of profitability in the short run, so they're selling. So these two reasons are crushing the market right now. So why do most people lose in the stock market? Why so many people actually end up losing so much money? You see, it is so easy to look back and see why things happen, and very difficult to act at the moment because you're taking a huge risk. So when I'm looking back, I can easily see why things happen. I can really see that the market crashed because in 2022, the Fed raised interest rates. The market crashed because Donald Trump introduced the largest tariffs. The market grew because there was an AI boom. So looking back, everybody can make a very wise investing decision. The real problem is that at the moment, you don't know what is going to happen in the future. So if you're taking or making an investment decision, you're taking a huge risk. And because most people don't understand in general how the market works, they're very emotional about their decision. What if I'm going to invest right now and the market goes to zero? What if the market is never going to recover? So we have two groups of people. One group of people who are emotional investors. They invest because the market is growing, or they're selling because the market is going down. On the other side, you have people who are strategic investors. They know that this is how the market usually works. These are the factors that influences the market. So if this happens, then this happens. So most likely here, the market is going to crash. If the market crashed to this point, these stocks are being sold under their market price or under their valuation. So it's time to buy them because they will recover. And these people are making money. So because the market is always volatile, and it grows in fluctuations, every single time so much money goes from people who don't understand how the market works to the hands of Wall Street and other people who know how the market works. At the end of the day, some companies fail and some companies win, but the market overall grows. So if you literally just zoom out the market, you will see, yes, there has been volatility, but the real question is not what has been the trend. Is the trend that the market is growing, or the trend the market is going down? So let's look at the last 5 years. We see that there has been huge crashes over the last 5 years, but the trend always has been that the market is growing because the economy overall is growing. So the next question right now is that what is going to happen next? The S&P 500 is down by about 9%. And this is just the beginning. There is a huge probability that it can go actually down by another 8% in the next 5 months or next 3 months. So the real question is that what is going to happen after that? What are the chances that the market is going to bounce back? What are the chances that the market is going to grow after that? So let's look at the factors. The first important thing that we have to look at is that Kevin Warsh might be a yes man and he's going to be the next chairman of the Fed. What does that mean? You see, Jay Powell has been a very strong chair of the Fed. He has been very resilient in his decisions. Yes, he was the author of the quantitative easing in 2020 to save the economy, but overall, when he realized there is inflation, he has been firm on his decision that I am not going to cut the rates if that is going to cause inflation. He will be replaced by Kevin Warsh. Now, Kevin Warsh has said multiple times that I am against quantitative easing. That was the reason why he actually resigned from the Federal Reserve. So he has a reputation in front of investors. But on the other side, look at this. Donald Trump has been criticizing the chairman of the Fed over the last year to lower the rates. It is his opportunity to nominate somebody that is going to lower rates. So there is a good chance that Kevin Warsh, who is his nominee, is actually going to do what Donald Trump has asked him, even though that goes against what he stood for in the past. So if he becomes the next chairman of the Fed, first of all, he lowers interest rates, but secondly, he might even do massive quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is the exact same thing that the Federal Reserve did in 2020 and 2021, which is throwing cheap money into the economy that improves the balance sheet of all of these companies, which leads the stock market to rise. And why am I saying that? Look at the balance sheet of the Fed. In 2022, it reached almost $9 trillion, which was the highest. And that was when we had inflation of about 9%. Then the Fed starts quantitative tightening, and that is removing so much money out of the economy. In 2023, there has been a banking crisis. So the Fed is like, we cannot possibly afford a banking crisis, so we have to create more liquidity in the market. So they rolled back the quantitative easing and started printing more money in order to save the economy from a banking crisis. They solved that, then they started doing again quantitative tightening. Now, in December of last year, the chairman of the Fed said that it's over, no more quantitative tightening. And from now onwards, there is going to be a very smooth and very small quantitative easing. So the Fed will start again throwing money into the economy, but not on the scale of 2020 and 2021, but rather it is simply going to be $40 billion every single month. So we have already did that turn and we're going back to quantitative easing. Now, there is a huge probability of a recession this year. There is no job creation in the private sector, and there is so much uncertainty. If the US economy falls into a serious crisis this year, there is a good chance that Kevin Warsh is going to do quantitative easing if Donald Trump is going to ask him so. And guess what? Most likely Donald Trump is going to do that. So there is a very good chance that massive quantitative easing is coming by the end of this year if Kevin Warsh is going to be the next chairman of the Fed. So this is reason number one why the market most likely is going to recover. Reason number two, the second wave of AI boom. So AI is this complete new technology that literally changed the world. A lot of people are using a lot of AI tools right now. Now, you might say that a lot of these tools are useless, such as the image generating Sora or other platforms have something like that. But overall, let's be honest, AI has a really, really good potential. We are still in the beginning of this technology. Imagine 20 years from now where that technology is going to be. It's like being in early or late 1990s and saying that internet is this useless thing. But here we are in 2026, and look, without internet, it's impossible to imagine our lives. So any technology goes through multiple stages. There are the innovators, then you have early adopters, and then you have early majority. So AI is probably somewhere around here. AI is not yet monetizable as much so that it can actually pay for itself, just like the internet was in early 2000s. So now a lot of AI companies are going to go bankrupt. A lot of AI companies will now try to find ways to monetize that technology so that they can survive and attract more investors. And this second wave of the AI boom is going to be way more profitable because now there are going to be AI companies that are actually going to make money because we are going to find ways to monetize this technology. So there is going to be a second AI boom. It might happen next year, it might happen 2 years from now. I don't know for a fact, but what I know for a fact is that that is happening 100%. Now, the third reason that I am so bullish is that there is going to be ground invasion to open the Strait of Hormuz. Now, I have made multiple videos explaining why there is going to be a ground invasion. Now, I don't know to what extent that ground invasion is going to be, but most likely or certainly there are going to be troops just to open the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, it might be catastrophic for the US economy, as I've explained in previous videos, but that's a completely different question. The question we want to know right now is that if the US special ops are going to open the Strait of Hormuz, at least temporarily for some time, it means that there is a probability that there is a window where oil prices are going to plummet. That could be for 1 year or 2 years. Yes, maybe the Strait of Hormuz will go back to the hands of Iranians. But nevertheless, if that is going to happen, again, that can actually lead investors to be more bullish, at least in the short run, when it comes to the market. So here's the question. How am I positioning myself and what I would do in this situation to massively profit from this? Why do I think that this is such a great opportunity to make money? And anybody can actually use that. First of all, I'm buying a lot of gold, and I've explained that in the previous videos, because we are getting into this situation where we're moving into a multipolar currency reserves, which means that there are a couple of nations that want to propose their currencies as the transactional currencies between the nations. And to do that, they have to back it with a large economy and a lot of gold reserves. So countries such as India, China, Russia, France, and the UK are massively buying gold. So that demand will keep pushing that. Secondly, if there is going to be massive QE, every single time there is going to be a rise and a spike in gold prices. There is no question about it. Just get this in your head. Massive QE, higher gold prices. So we know that for a fact. That's why a good portion of my portfolio is going to buy gold. So this is like an easy making money machine. Secondly is that you go with tech stocks. Now, tech stocks right now are having some of their worst times. And I have explained in the previous videos why is that happening. But look at that. This is Alphabet, and Alphabet is down by 20% from its peak. And some people look at this and look, oh, Alphabet is going down. I should not be buying this stock. But let's look at some very basic numbers. Now, Alphabet is making $113 billion of revenue, and it's making literally net profit of $34 billion in one single quarter. Now, take this number and multiply that by 4. So they're making about $450 billion in revenue and more than $110 billion in net income. So we have a company that is so profitable that they can survive any crisis, no matter what happens and how deep that crisis is going to be. And we know that Alphabet is leading AI. So I'm confident that Alphabet, for example, is going to go up by another 20% and will recover. In fact, it will even go way higher than that. So the stock could actually crash further, but eventually it is going to recover. Let's take another example. Apple is down by about 13%, but this is a very successful company. Yes, it's actually having some really bad time recently, but let's look at the company. It's making $143 billion in revenue and a net income of $42 billion. So this is the company that makes so much money that it's very difficult to even comprehend that kind of money. I know that the company isn't actually perfect. There is a lot of things to criticize about this company, but I am more than certain that this company is going to recover further because they have a very solid and good business. Most of these stocks, especially tech stocks, will continue suffering as the Federal Reserve either increases interest rates or inflation is going to rise and we're headed into a recession, because on paper their valuation goes down. So this big money that are managing trillions of dollars, they will start selling off their investments because they have to rebalance their balance sheets. So you know that these stocks are undervalued right now at this moment, and this is the time to actually start buying them. Now, how do you know that? If you're good at stock analysis, you know that at this price, it's fairly valued. Below this price, it is undervalued. So yeah, maybe I'm buying it at this price and the stock goes down further, but I don't know for a fact how low the stock is going to go. All I need to know is that what is the fair price for it. Any price I'm buying it below that, it is still a good investment. That's why it's so important to master investing. That's why it's so important that you don't just blindly follow other investors, but you know for a fact why you bought the stock and when are you going to sell the stock and how you're going to make so much money off it. It's a very simple skill, but the moment you master it, it is going to pay you, like literally, it's going to make you like millions of dollars over the course of your life, maybe billions of dollars. And the third investment is, of course, the S&P 500 if you don't want to get into the details. The S&P 500 is down by 9%, and it primarily consists of tech stocks. So if tech stocks, which they will actually keep rising in the foreseeable future, then the S&P 500 is going to recover. So if you want to take very small risk and you want to still profit out of it, you still can do that. Of course, I will highly suggest that you actually master investing and you go into individual stocks because there you're going to make the most amount of money. But to do that, you have to master investing. And that's why I created the Investing Academy, to equip you with those skills so that you can take this skill and start making a lot of money so that you get financially independent. And how do you join the Investing Academy? Well, the link is in the description of this video.